Welcome back to the Karmic third party update. Yes, we host this weekly, and if you do want this content ahead of the crowd, you can join our YouTube membership. We do have an intro video if you do wish to know what is included in the membership. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the current energy of the Karmic third party and what we can expect. Now, even sitting with these cards, especially knowing the predictive energy, both psychically and astrologically, I do see the karmic third party going through a shedding, and it can almost feel that there's this uncertainty that they need to peel away something that isn't serving them. I do feel this apprehension and nervousness. There can be an element of deceit. I'm not necessarily seeing this as a total negative situation, but I do see these individuals this week almost having this anxiousness, and they're up in their head quite a bit. They do feel super protective, but they also feel that there's a necessary change that needs to occur for this connection to remain positive. I do feel they've been struggling for a while, and really when they do look to the past position, they feel that something's off, something's been behind, something hasn't been right for a long time. I do feel there had been an avoidance, but really in their mindset, knowing that something has to shift, this is causing an urgency in these individuals. I feel really in the heart space, especially because we are moving really into that Venus retrograde zone. I do particularly feel that these individuals are feeling that there's a lot of uncertainty where it comes to love, and there's almost this feeling that something is falling down. And I don't know why I'm hearing the term backup plan, but it's like they're needing a backup plan. Definitely apprehension to do with the future. They're really wondering, what's going to go down, how directly to challenge it. But they're pausing. They're not wanting to make a situation worse than it already is. It's almost like they have this self-awareness that if they call themselves out, be it it's an insecurity, be it it's a thought process, that somehow they won't be protected. Yeah, they're really keeping the cards close to their chest. They're keeping these feelings quite private. I do feel there's an element of feeling disgruntled. Whatever this is, I feel the way they're operating is they're preparing. This can be preparing for an exit plan. This can be putting money away. I do feel that they're gauging and watching counterparts. I feel they're in awareness that something is off, but they're also not saying anything. They're holding their cool. They're not showing their cards. I also feel that they know that it will be the demise if they do. They're worried that if they articulate how they feel, that this can become worse than it already is. I do feel some are actually hearing from individuals from the past. They're trying to have faith in the process, but yet again, it's like they're almost wondering how certain things are coming about. I do feel there's a person coming out of the woodworks and explaining something to them. This can be some gossip. This could be a love interest that's coming to the forefront. They also could have an opportunity that's presented to them. But again, this entanglement, for some, it could be of a financial nature. And so they're also wondering, if this situation ends here, how will they be financially? They're looking at it very negatively at this point. They're almost feeling entrapped, but they do feel something is being shed from them, something is being taken from them. And it's going to come in quite quickly. I do feel there's this sudden situation that plays out, and I think this really can play out into this, the following week. So definitely come through and check that. But I'm getting this vibe that it's almost like this element in the air of change, and they know that something's not as good. This is to do with the joint connection. Again, opportunities from the past coming back, revisiting. I do feel they're in a T section in the road. They don't quite know what to do. They don't know quite what to trust. I also feel some of their patterns that they've used in the past to keep the status quo, they're not working. For some, they can be losing jobs. For some, I also feel they're being quite critical towards themselves. This can be how they're looking, maybe not feeling so flash. Self-esteem definitely is coming up here. I do feel there's a lot of insecurities coming up. This is a very down individual. This is a very uncertain individual this week in the mix. I feel this would even link if these individuals were married. I do feel both parties here in the mix are having different value systems coming up. For some, there might have been discussions of divorce. This could be an old situation that's coming back on the table. I do also feel there's a subject to do with accommodation coming up. For some of them, they're feeling almost that they're chained to a financial situation. And they're wondering how they're going to balance that. Some of them are really lacking in the confidence that they can be that old vibration they used to be. Fun, vivacious, playful. They're very, very concerned about wealth at this point. For some, I've been given a reference that they haven't been in this position before. Especially if this was a karmic fling, went into a relationship. It's almost now that they're in the 3D and the thick of the relationship, they're really seeing a difference in their value systems. For some, there's apprehension to do with a holiday. There could be a plan. This could be a plan to achieve something. This could be for a family situation. They're worried about the dynamic between the twins. I'm also hearing the term white noise. Whoever is involved with this individual, they know that the old song and does isn't working anymore, so they're having to tackle it in a different way. They're presuming that the individual is the same as how they used to be. Old insecurities are cropping up. This can be especially if this relationship was formed on malice. Part of the karmic lesson is almost showing them, it's almost like co-creation. So for instance, if, this was an individual that came and cut somebody else's lunch, they're almost worried about every individual in their path. But really, their most intimate feelings, above and beyond, are coming down to themselves at this point in time. I do feel many of these individuals are very, very unhappy, really not liking the way this is going. I do feel some of them are taking a very tactical approach. They're feeling that this isn't for them, but they're needing to do something, and they do feel it's coming sooner rather than later. Their deepest concern is they don't know how they are going to be after exiting stage of this circumstance. For some, this could be a physical divorce that they are going through, and there is an argument or a decision that is being made over money, and it's really looking quite uncertain. They're quite concerned about how they are going to come out on top and whether they should just cut their losses or directly stay in the situation regardless of their most emotional needs. This is a very frustrated individual this week. This could be a little bit risky. I'm going to pull an animal totem card, and I'm going to see any energy that potentially could come up. I do feel there's a lot of difficulty coming. Yeah, this can be because they are feeling that the spiritual connection between the twins is growing stronger. This individual does feel that the vice is loosening. You guys could have chance meetings. This could be accidentally bumping into each other. Some of these individuals also feel that they're fighting a losing battle and it is causing conflict. I will check in with you guys next week. If you do want this content ahead of the crowd come through, and if you are wanting to see the masculine, feminine, and a karmic, come and take a look at what's coming up this week.